Dragon Age Inquisition was rated M for mature by the ESRB and contains blood, intense violence, nudity, sexual content, and strong language. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello, everyone. My name is Amaronith, and I play games for the internet, and today we're playing Dragon Age Inquisition. It's time for another Codex reading, so let's get to it, shall we? Letters and Notes. In death. In war, victory. In peace, vigilance. In death, sacrifice. My brothers and sisters in vigilance, by drinking of the chalice you are a Grey Warden. Though you perished, you died with your blood joined with mine. I honor your sacrifice and carry your memory into battle. Meline of Arlesans, I remember you. Leonid de Fermen, I remember you. Odwin, I remember you. Letter about Lyrium. To Paxley. I've seen the transformations. It's a horror to watch your soldiers' faces change, to realize they might not remember you day to day. It's a sword in the guts. But the ones who make it through are near invincible. Feed elf fruit to the soldiers hurting as much as they want. Beyond that, it's just waiting until they stop feeling pain. Remind them they spread the lyrium. It grows at our touch. With the materials I've sent, they'll grow enough for 12 armies. It's proof we're on the right path, that any suffering is worthwhile. Remind them. Samson. Letter of confirmation. To confirm, yes, I've heard the reports. The Inquisition is on the rise, but there'll be a toothless hound once our master deals with them. We stand between the enemy and Corypheus. He gave us what the Chantry never would, a second chance. I don't want to see a single man let him down. Sow the lyrium. Let it follow where we walk. Take root where we settle. Never forget that your footsteps, yours, mark Corypheus's path to victory. General Samson. New orders. To Besen. Maddox needs twice the usual red lyrium to modify my armor properly. Taking over as the vessel means it has to be perfect. Have the amount ready in 3 days, and you and your squad will get a chance to serve as Corypheus's honor guard. My own proving goes on. When I first donned the armor, I thought I was drowning in fire. Without Corypheus to stop me, I'd have torn my own skin off. Now the armor's settled. I can march for days without rest, break a man like kindling. I'm finally fit to be the vessel. Maddox may come to you to work on my armor's modifications. If he gives you instructions about the lyrium, follow them to the letter. Treat Maddox like you'd treat me. Samson. Suledin keep documents. Do we know anything about that Imshale fellow? Where did he come from? Why are we to defer to him? He's not from the Order, so far as I know, and there's something about him that makes me uneasy. Hayden, everyone makes you uneasy. Calm down. What I hear is, Imshale was sent to help oversee red lyrium growth in the quarry. He supports the cause, and that's all that matters. Keep your nose down, do your job, and don't antagonize him. Connell. Excerpt from the Journal of a Red Templar. Writing has become difficult. There is a sharp pain in my hands when I move them, like shards of glass in my knuckles. When I look in the mirror, I don't recognize myself. I remember when Lieutenant Aramis got this way. He looked like a living corpse, his complexion a facsimile of the blush of life. Instead of blood, it was pulsing red lyrium. It killed him and kept him alive at the same time. I don't want this anymore. It gave me power, but it goes against everything I was taught. Sometimes I'm swept along with the fervor, but in quiet, I remember what I was and what I believed. Some say Imshale can cure us. He can pull the red lyrium from our bodies if we ask him. But there's a price. No price would be too high. I just want to be myself again. From the writings of Knight-Captor Fournier. We arrived in the Highlands at night. I was immediately given the task of overseeing the acquisition and staffing of the Sarnia quarry. I asked the general why we needed a quarry if the crystals will grow anywhere. Apparently the Elder One believes the composition of the earth here will ensure that it grows more rapidly and abundantly. I didn't ask why he believes this. The general doesn't like questions. He probably doesn't know. Some of my men feel we should take the quarry by force. The general did not specify how I was to secure the land, so I am considering a more subtle approach. Any suspicions we raise will increase the chance of a military investigation, perhaps even the newly formed Inquisition. We must operate in secret as long as possible. I scouted the quarry yesterday. It is quiet. With the war raging, I expect demand for luxury granite has decreased significantly. A thought occurs to me. So much is gained through commerce. Why not exploit that? Valeska's Watch. I have marked areas of interest on the maps provided. I would draw particular attention to Valeska's Watch, an old Grey Warden outpost. It guards a deep roads entrance sealed after the Third Blight. Because of the entrance's size, the Wardens feared Darkspawn would find a way through despite their efforts. Senior Warden Valeska recommended they build a fort over the collapsed tunnel, so Wardens could always guard it. They did so for centuries. The Grey Warden's disappearance means Valeska's Watch is now unguarded. If the seal over the entrance has degraded, Darkspawn may infest it. Be wary when entering this area. The Blight is a slow death, and one I would save you all from suffering. A missive from Liliana to Inquisition agents bound for the Emprise du Lion. Tales. Bottles of Thedas. Chastened sack mead. A brutishly strong honey liqueur, reminiscent of warm summer days, apple blossoms on the wind, with an unexpected aftertaste of father going off to war never to return. Bitter, to say the least. Garbolg's Backcountry Reserve. Likely dropped to avoid seizure by authorities or because of seizure due to drinking it. Garbolg only brewed from 874 to 892 blessed, killed when the vapors in his beard spontaneously combusted. Golden Scythe 490 black. This battlefield spirit maintains a chill even in direct sunlight, which it appears to absorb. Optimal serving is by the drop. Contact with exposed flesh is discouraged, but likely inevitable. Legacy White Sheer. Peculiar and rare, a single run of this spirit took color and what has been optimistically called flavor from Lyrium in the cask's bilge hoop. A sipping whiskey if you value your innards. Circa 790 TE. Sun Blonde Vint 1. Tevinter brewed for a very discreet clientele, and strong enough to fluster a tranquil, an almost weightless spirit best served with a powdering of catsbane as a flavor enhancer and antidote. Dragon Piss. The name is probably figurative, but no one knows for sure. Hirol's Lava Burst. It tastes like burning. Brewed exclusively in Kal-Sharok. McKay's Epic Single Malt. This whiskey is older than the maker and smoother than Elven Baby Butt. Finale by Mossad. The last bottling from the legendary vintners of Ferelden before lands were divided. Tears on the glass as slow as the turning of a reluctant air, as quick on the tongue as words that can't be unsaid. Butterbile 784. A hard liquor that is not so much served as it is brandished. Coarse and indifferent, it is to your taste or it is not. The failing is yours if you cannot raise or lower to the challenge of a distiller told not to. Vint 9, Rowan's Rose. Delicate to the nose, comfort to the tongue, and strangely a half-remembered whisper to the ears. It is described as, and inspires, a wistful spirit. A Vinter's opus. Absence. I am aware of how to spell it. This bottling reflects my wish that the current crop of behatted, self-styled cads would disappear. I prefer Le Fille Verte as a spirit, not affectation. Distiller Emeritus Gaivon. Antivan Sip Sip. Careful, this one's mean. Attic raised mean. popular among highborn who wish to seem dangerous, but more at home grasped by the neck by those who actually are. Carnal 869 Blessed, an Orlesian liqueur for the daring, or those who wish to seem so, said to enhance sensation, and at the bottom an erotically carved peach pit. The design is plain, but the bottler assures that the act of carving was scandalous. Abyssal peach, not so much filtered as dredged, should be kept in a cold, dark place, also locked, forgotten as well, if one is wise. Alvarado's bathtub boot screech. If you can read this, you haven't drunk it. Judicael's Crossing. The grand bridge named Judicael's Crossing was constructed in 856 Blessed to celebrate the coronation of Emperor Judicael I. As a testament to the skill of Orlay's greatest engineers, the bridge replaced an ancient fallen highway leading to the pools of the sun. At the bridge's ceremonial dedication, the emperor's sister, Grand Duchess Leontine, led a dozen nobles and their entourages in a stroll across the bridge to the hot springs, where they took the waters. Judicael's Crossing's structural supports bear architectural and decorative elements that mimic those of the ancient Tevinter highway it replaced. One can see their like several miles away in the archways rising above the village of Sarnia. The Andrastian statues that decorate the walkway, however, are entirely Orlesian in style. From the Highlands of Orlais by Lord Admar Garthot, Royal Historian. Tower of Bone. The Tower of Bone is so named for the hundreds of human bones discovered in a hidden chamber beneath the flagstones. The bones were cremated in accordance with Chantry law, and the chamber cleansed and sealed. Local tales of the tower and its grisly contents abound. Some believe Tevinters built the structure, reinforcing its foundations with blood magic. In other tales, elves built the tower. My favorite is particularly imaginative. In this story, a blood mage summoned a greater pride demon, who then possessed the entire tower. When the mage died, his sons were unable to control the demon, so they commissioned 8 monstrous iron chains intended to hold it. The touch of the cold iron chain is the only thing holding the stone abomination in place. Should they break, the tower will pull itself off its foundations and walk, destroying everything in its path. From the Highlands of Orlais by Lord Admar Garthot, Royal Historian. Trading with Kal-Sharok. My approach was carefully observed. This was not a Taig unused to watching its boundaries. I got the impression that if I'd been one of his Orzammar cousins, our meeting would have been swift and bloody. That is, if I'd been allowed to find the passage at all. As it was, he was polite and efficient, and he knew well the current market for everything he offered. Clearly their isolation is not because of fear, and certainly not disinterest. Among his wares I saw the latest fabrics of Val Royeaux, and volumes by a free marcher poet 3 centuries dead. This only added to my doubt of the official year of Kal-Sharok's rediscovery as declared by the Assembly of Orzammar. I didn't mention this to my host. As curious as I was, there was an undercurrent I found unsettling. I must stress that he and his helpers were professional and honest throughout, but there was something I can't describe. While he remained hooded the entire time, he looked me square in the eye when our deal was struck, unashamed. I lived through a time of blight. I've felt the gaze of a grey warden and seen the corruption of his prey. Why I remembered both in that moment, I still can't explain. On meeting Novice Sturhald in Kal-Sharok, excerpted from the journals of Sir Everin Abernash, noble merchant scholar. And that is that. Thank you for joining me. If I missed anything, I will have to really scrub through the videos and check. But I will then put it in another Codex reading episode. Until next time, take care of yourselves, be safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.